The courtroom air was thick with betrayal, the kind that stings like salt in an open wound. My own parents, the people who'd raised me, stood there glaring as their lawyer droned on. Your Honor, the defendant is a perfect match, yet she refuses to save her sister's life. She's replaceable. Plenty of donors out there, but family should come first. Replaceable. The word echoed in my skull, a dagger twisted by the ones who were supposed to love me unconditionally. How had it come to this? My name is Victoria Kensington, and I'd always known I was the shadow in my family's golden light. Growing up in a modest suburb of Atlanta, Georgia, where the humid summers clung to your skin like regret, I was the older daughter, the reliable one, the fixer. My sister, Sophia, was the star, born with the sparkle that drew everyone in. She was the cheerleader, the straight A student, the one who got the new clothes while I wore hand-me-downs from cousins. Mom and Dad doted on her, calling her their miracle baby after a complicated pregnancy. Me? I was just Victoria, the black girl who blended into the background, expected to sacrifice without question. It started subtly, the favoritism. When I was 10 and Sophia 8, I'd save my allowance to buy her birthday gifts, only for her to toss them aside for the bigger presents from our parents. Sophia needs this more, Mom would say, her voice laced with that southern drawl that masked the sting. Dad, a mechanic at the local Ford dealership, worked overtime to fund Sophia's dance lessons, while my dreams of art school were dismissed as impractical. I internalized it, thinking that's just how families worked. Some shine brighter and others support from the sidelines. But the real fracture came last year, when Sophia was diagnosed with kidney failure. She was 25, fresh out of college with a marketing job in downtown Atlanta, living that influencer life on Instagram with filtered selfies and sponsored posts. Me, at 27, I was grinding as a graphic designer at a small firm, paying off student loans and renting a cramped apartment in Midtown. The doctors ran tests, and surprise, I was a perfect match. Not just compatible, ideal. My parents called it a blessing. I called it a nightmare. Victoria, honey, you have to do this, Mom pleaded over Sunday dinner at their house, the aroma of fried chicken and collard greens filling the air, a meal I'd helped prepare, as always. Dad nodded solemnly, his calloused hands folded on the lace tablecloth Grandma had left us. Sophia sat there, pale but pretty, her manicured nails tapping her phone. It's just one kidney. People live fine with one. You're strong. You'll bounce back. I stared at my plate, the food turning to ash in my mouth. What about my life, my career? What if something goes wrong? I'd read the risks, complications, long recovery, potential health issues down the line. But more than that, it was the principle. Why me? Why always me giving while Sophia took? She'd never once thanked me for the times I'd covered for her, like when she crashed Dad's car in high school and I took the blame. They didn't listen. The pressure mounted. Family friends whispered about my selfishness at church, where we'd attended every Sunday since I could remember. How can you let your sister suffer? Aunt Henrietta asked, her Bible clutched tight. Even my boyfriend at the time, Bradford, sided with them. Babe, it's family. Just do it. I broke up with him that night, realizing he saw me as replaceable, too. When I finally said no, firm, unyielding, they exploded. You're ungrateful, Dad shouted, his face reddening like the Georgia clay after rain. Mom cried, clutching Sophia, who dramatically wiped tears while scrolling TikTok under the table. I left that house feeling lighter, but the weight crashed back when the lawsuit arrived. My parents were suing me for familial duty, claiming emotional distress and medical costs if I didn't donate. It was absurd. Courts don't force organ donations, but they dragged me through it anyway, turning our dirty laundry public. The hearing was a circus. Reporters lurked outside the Fulton County Courthouse, sniffing for drama in a city that loved its scandals. My lawyer, a pro bono hero from the ACLU, argued bodily autonomy, citing precedents. But hearing my parents testify, that broke something in me. Mom sobbed on the stand. Victoria was always the strong one. We thought she'd want to help. Dad added, she's replaceable in the donor pool, but irreplaceable as a sister. The judge dismissed the case, thank God, but the damage was done. Social media exploded. Hashtags like selfish sister and family first trending locally. Strangers messaged me hate, calling me heartless, a bad black woman, shaming the community. That night, alone in my apartment with the hum of the AC drowning out the city noise, I stared at the ceiling. Replaceable. The word festered. I'd given them everything. My time, my money, my silence about their secrets. Like how Dad had a gambling problem, blowing Sophia's college fund before miraculously finding money from shady loans. Or Mom's affair with the church deacon, which I'd overheard as a teen and kept quiet. And Sophia, her golden facade hid a trail of lies, faking grades, stealing from my wallet, even cheating on her fiancé. I'd covered for them all, thinking loyalty meant swallowing pain. No more. I decided then I'd walk away, but not quietly. Revenge wouldn't be violence or screams. It'd be exposure, cold and calculated, letting the world see their rot. I started small, gathering evidence. Old bank statements I'd kept from helping with taxes showed Dad's debts. Screenshots of Sophia's texts begging me to lie for her. Audio recordings from family dinners where they belittled me. As a designer, I knew visuals punched hardest. I compiled it into a digital dossier, anonymous but damning. Act 2 of my life unfolded in secrecy. I quit my job for a better one in New York, packing my life into boxes while ignoring their calls. "Come back, Victoria, we can talk," Mom's voicemails pleaded. Sophia texted, "You're killing me slowly. Is that what you want?" I blocked them, but the plan brewed. I reached out to a journalist friend from college, now at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. "Hypothetical story," I said over coffee at a bustling cafe near Piedmont Park, the autumn leaves crunching underfoot. "What if a family sues their daughter for a kidney but hides their own skeletons?" She bit. I fed her pieces anonymously, building suspense. Meanwhile, I rebuilt myself. In NYC, the energy was electric. Subways rumbling, streets alive with diversity. I landed a gig at a top ad agency, designing campaigns for brands like Nike and Coca-Cola. For the first time, I felt seen, not as a side character, but the lead. Therapy helped unpack the trauma. My counselor, a wife woman in Brooklyn, said, "You're not replaceable, Victoria. You're essential to yourself." But the anger simmered. Internal monologues haunted my walks through Central Park. Why did they value her more? Was it colorism, Sophia's lighter skin from Mom's side making her the pretty one? Or just classic golden child syndrome? I journaled it out, pages filled with rage and reflection. A subplot emerged when I met Harrison, a photographer at work. Tall, kind, with a laugh that warmed the chilliest days. He listened without judgment, sharing his own family estrangement. "Sometimes walking away is the bravest act," he said over dim sum in Chinatown. Our romance bloomed slowly, a counterpoint to the storm brewing back home. Foreshadowing came in waves. Anonymous tips to Sophia's employer about her embezzling petty cash, small but enough to raise eyebrows. Dad's creditors got wind of his hidden assets. Mom's church gossip mill churned when whiskers of her affair resurfaced. I timed it perfectly, aligning with the anniversary of the lawsuit dismissal. The climax hit like a thunderclap. The journalist's article dropped. "Behind the kidney lawsuit, a family's hidden scandals." Front page with redacted names, but details so specific Atlanta knew.
It detailed Dad's gambling, Mom's infidelity, Sophia's deceptions, all backed by evidence I'd leaked. Social media ignited anew, but this time against them. Hashtag toxic family trended, with think pieces on favoritism in Black households, cultural pressures, and autonomy. I watched from afar, heart pounding as notifications flooded. Sophia's Instagram went private after sponsors dropped her. Dad lost clients at the shop. Mom resigned from church committees amid stares. They called, frantic. "Victoria, how could you?" I didn't answer. Instead, I sent one email. "You said I was replaceable. Now see how it feels to be exposed." Resolution came sweetly. In New York, I thrived, promoted, engaged to Harrison, even starting a side hustle mentoring young Black women in design. A year later, a package arrived. A letter from Sophia, admitting everything, begging forgiveness. I was the golden child, but it poisoned me. Please, sis. I burned it, feeling closure. Walking away wasn't just escape. It was rebirth. Empowered, I stood on my balcony overlooking the Hudson, the city lights twinkling like stars I'd finally claimed. No longer replaceable, I was irreplaceable to myself and those who truly saw me. The pain faded, replaced with peace, a testament that revenge, served thoughtfully, heals the avenger most.